You know, there comes a point in time where you just have to call people out on their bullshit, okay? There comes a point in time where when you try to ignore idiots or idiotic statements, but sometimes you just have to go in on them. So, I don't remember the titles of the video because Asian Dave makes long ass fucking titles. So as you can see in this video, it will just be a response to Asian Dave. Asian Dave reports on things that meet his agenda, that make him look right, but won't actually state things that are contrary to what he wants to prove or wants to show. So I will. You know, I've had encounters with the police. Me not being white, me being Puerto Rican. I know I look white, so maybe I'm a bad example, but everyone can see that he doesn't. Asian Dave, if it was this big epidemic about cops just hate how cops just hate minorities. Notice I quoted myself there. Then explain to me why them two, you said it was two, I believe the other day, officers that were at your house, through a personal text message, got disrespectful, but why didn't they beat the shit out of you? My point isn't that violence against minorities doesn't happen. That's not what I'm saying. My point is that violence happens. Okay? It happens. It happens more on minority than it does anywhere else. But that's a different topic. I know exactly what road you're going to go down there, and we can go down that road. But unless you decide to take that road, I'm not. Anyway, so you report on these two officers that hit this black guy, beat him up. And it's unfortunate. But then you said they have every reason to believe, to attack the police. You said they don't have the right, but they have every reason. Look, anybody who's being assaulted has a reason to defend themselves, whether or not they're being assaulted by an officer or not. So you're right there. And no, nobody has a right to hurt anybody else. You're absolutely right. You're right on that. But David, there are many cases to where that doesn't happen. You do nothing but spew propaganda to meet the agenda, the point that you want to be met. There's plenty of encounters you've had with the police where they didn't whoop your ass. There's plenty of encounters I've had where they didn't whoop my ass. As a matter of fact, I could think of an encounter that my mom had where they did whoop her ass. And my mom is white. And the cop, well, cop was Hispanic. So you have a minority cop beating up on a white person. This was probably about 15 years ago. That happened, but what's your opinion on that? Point is yes, officers are more likely to be violent because of the nature of their job, and that's not an excuse. But it's not that officers are hate to attack minorities. I mean, why didn't you talk about the 2 officers that attacked the black guy over, I think it was in Georgia. The 2 officers that attacked the black guy in Georgia. His hands were up, clearly. They attacked him. And you know what happened? They got fired. They got charges filed against them. Why didn't you mention that? If it's so acceptable for police to just beat up on minorities, why didn't you mention that story? The one that just happened, like, I think yesterday or the day before. It's all over the news now. See, what you didn't represent that. Because you want to represent the idea that cops get to do this without consequence. Because that would totally negate your teaching of that cops are taught that this is acceptable and that this is okay. And you know good and damn well it's not. But you have people like Paul Wood in your comments section that are easily brainwashed by the bullshit that you put forward. And that's what you want to keep. You want to keep the sheeple that are on your channel. That's why your subscribers don't like me. That's why you blocked me from commenting. Or for you seeing my comments. Because I call you out on your shit. And you don't want everyone to know what a liar you are. If you didn't block me, I wouldn't have made this video. But you did. So this video gets made. Later.